Greetings, and welcome back to the MCOC Encyclopedia. So you just pulled Colossus? Let's see what he can do. So, here we have our 7-star, rank 1, unawakened Colossus, and as per usual, we will be starting off in Realm of Legends before moving into some Act 7 and Act 8. Colossus is a relatively simple champion, but throughout this video we will not be using any boosts. Well, we'll use one right at the end, and I'll show you exactly why. No recoil masteries, though we do have a few synergies running as well. Colossus is an absolute tank. Let's just get that out there straight away. This Realm of Legends Winter Soldier hit me for nearly 70 damage on one of his non-hit crit hits, and if your opponents do crit, Colossus naturally caps the damage, so they can't even crit super hard against you. And there goes Realm of Legends Winter Soldier. 2 special 2s, how many hits was that total? Let's see, 42 seconds, didn't see the hit count, probably about 40. Now we have Captain Marvel. Colossus is entirely based around his armours. You can see that he gains at 1 every time he parries, and that was why I was parrying some of Winter Soldier's special attacks as well. Each armour he has increases the size of the fury he gains off his heavy attack, and also increases the damage of his special attacks. These are based off his armour rating, not necessarily how many armours you have. So if, for whatever reason, you're using your Colossus and it's like, you have an extra 100,000 armour rating, that will work. It's not reliant on his buffs. We're now in 8.3.2, and this is the Superior Iron Man path, and he has the Wakandan Claws node. That is meant to bleed me every time a buff expires on me, for example, this Dex buff, but Colossus is fully bleed immune. He's also thermal immune, meaning that he is immune to all bleeds, I've already said, Incinerate, Cold Snaps, and Frostbites, as well as armor breaks and armor shatters if he's not fighting a tech champion. So tech champions can armor break him. In this node, we need to go for the special 1 to remove the weapon, and then the special 2 does that. Don't need to show any more of that path. Colossus does. It's good stuff. Colossus, as we've said, gains a very large heavy attack fury, but it doesn't last very long, and it's perfect for chaining into special 2s. However, it also does really good damage by itself. This is a heavy attack path, don't get me wrong, boosting our damage on the heavy, but if you want to just play Colossus parry heavy into special 2, you'll absolutely get some good stuff out of him. But if we can parry heavy, I'm going to take him on a parry heavy path. Nearly there. One more. Pop 114k, not bad at all, but again, this is boosted. Same path, we have Venom, and we're going to do pretty much the same thing. Colossus is very safe against Venom, because not only can we drop 200k heavy attacks, Colossus, as we said, is fully bleed immune. You'll notice that whenever we parry Venom, like there's a little tick of damage. He took about 1900 damage. And this is because Colossus, without the parry mastery, 300k, very, very nice. Where are we going next? We are heading into, this is 8.2.4, the Freezer Burn path, because Colossus is thermal immune, so it doesn't matter. There's also some other nodes for mutants and stuff as well, but this is going pretty well against this Wasp. So, as I was saying, Colossus can parry without the parry mastery. This is why, if you've ever been in a quest and Colossus has parried you, that's why. However, if you have the parry mastery, then you will instead deal a little tick of damage to go with it. It's not much, but it is there. This does count for damaging effects, so we can actually use Colossus against the Grand Master, if you ever wanted to. We are now in 8.2.4, the Life Transfer path. I believe it starts with Iron Patriot, but we're fighting Beast instead because he's more interesting. The block damage here is ridiculous, but this is also heavy assault, meaning we get very large heavy attacks. Now these are just, 28k, so that's not too bad. 33k, so that was an 110k special attack. Not bad at all. Sorry, heavy attack. We have Life Transfer, meaning we're constantly degenerating, but we're also healing. Colossus is an excellent option for this path. What are we missing out on then, without his signature ability? Well, Colossus's Sig is only really important in longer fights, and I wouldn't class these as longer fights. You would do them faster, but not by much. Whenever one of Colossus's armor buffs expires, he has a chance to replace it with a permanent one, and he can stack up to 20 permanent armors. We're now in 7.1.6, going towards Gwenperion on the Hulk path, I think. Hulk's definitely on it. I think Blade's the second fight. This is Recharge and Power Shield, because Colossus has big special attacks, so let's take him on a Power Shield path. This Blade is not being particularly cooperative. So, the signature ability would allow us to hold armors for longer, which are basically Colossus sources of damage output. If you are using a Colossus that's massively punching up in a longer fight, these are really, really good, but for a 7-star Colossus, he really doesn't need them with these synergies. If I was playing him without synergies, maybe I would want that signature ability, as the fight might last a little bit longer. 93k, another 93k, 187k, not bad at all. Now, if you are in 7.2.6 and stuck on the Gwendmaster, Colossus is an absolutely excellent option. For those know what's going on with this fight, I have taken the juiced path, which will make things a little bit easier. But, never mind. Colossus Special 1, we haven't really touched on it. It has a chance to stun on it. It's fine, the damage is pretty good. I stick to the Special 2 most of the time. The Special 3 will give you some more armor rating, and also make Colossus unstoppable whilst you are blocking hits, giving you very easy access to unstoppable intercepts, if you require them. So, going back to his signature ability, we can get those permanent armors. Also, whenever he procs an immunity, he has a chance to gain an armor up buff, and this is very cheesy on nodes like Biohazard or Freezer Burn that we saw earlier in this video. This lets him, ramp up his armors much, much faster, and actually if you watch the 7.2.1 follow-up video that I've put out recently at the time of this video, there we actually used Awakened Colossus because we have access to lots of Incinerate and Cold Snaps going on to us. So if they're going on to us, I get hit a lot in this fight, but Colossus is an absolute tank. They're coming on to us, so we can use his Awakened ability to help a lot there. The damage is absolutely skyrocketing in this fight because, as I said, we've taken the juiced path, which just increases our damage as the fight goes on. It's all about surviving in this fight. Here comes the Gwendmaster Special 2, but neither of us take any damage. So we're now going to the second phase of this fight, where we've just got to hit her 60 times without hitting her block, because then she'll go unstoppable, and don't throw any special attacks, because if we do, we will die, which is exactly what happened on my first run through this path, and I took a red piece of damage back of about 200k. Not particularly fun. You see the timer on the far right, that's going around, we've got to complete it before that, but every time we intercept the timer is paused, so I'm going for some slightly risky intercepts. However, this fight is nearly done because it was not designed for 7 stars to take the juiced path. This was designed for maxed out 5 stars, maybe 6 star rank 3, 6 star, maybe early 6 star rank 4. But you can see we're hitting for 84k light attacks, and it's just not fair. And in fact, we're going to close out this fight before we even get there. We have one more fight after this one, and for that one we will be using 1 boost just to show how mental Colossus can go. So we really need to shut this fight out before that timer goes around, but unfortunately we just get hit by a special there, so I've got to land a very clutch intercept there to pause that timer, but we're hitting for 100k light attacks, and before you know it, a couple of intercepts later, the fight's over. If you're struggling on 726 Gwendmaster, he's a pretty good option if you take the juiced path. This is Gwemperian from 7.1.6. I'm not going to make you watch the whole fight, but we are running a 200% mutant power back, because Colossus has very big special attacks, and the more special 2s he throws, the more armors he gains, which means we can do that, so we're straight back to a special 2, and if she hadn't have thrown that, we probably would have got it down, but let's go for another special 2, so we're now to 19 armors, and just huge numbers of crits, and now we go for our special 3, but when you have a lot of armor, don't write off the special 3. That was still 120k damage from that special 3. As I said, not going to make you watch the whole fight, it's just about timing. So, there you have it, a quick dive into the abilities of a 7-star, rank 1, unawakened Colossus. If you want a video at rank 2 awakened, do let me know, and I will do my best to put that out as soon as possible. Coming soon, we'll have 7-star rank 3 Hulkbuster Showcase, if that's not already out. The Discord voted on 7-star rank 3 Scarlet Witch Showcase, if that already hasn't come out, and she is absurd. Plus, we'll also be continuing the 7.2 run through, and we've got a tier list update, if that already hasn't come out, to go as well. If you have any questions, please leave them down below, and please do all the YouTube stuff. Consider also joining the Discord server linked in the description. A great place to get specific advice, make suggestions for future video topics, and while I'm awake, I do my best to be there as much as possible. Thank you, and I will see you next time.